Labor unions rallying behind a fellow union leader, more restrictive measures for Bimini, and China and the Bahamas are having open discussions for more vaccines. Good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Cooper with your JCN News for this Thursday, July 1st. A union leader is being sued for alleged comments made during a protest nearly 2 weeks ago. The central bank's governor is allegedly claiming defamation of character. Laurencia Smith has more.
President of the Union of Central Bankers, Teresa Thompson, is being sued by the governor of Central Bank, John Roll. At least that's her claim. These action follows the union members protesting nearly 2 weeks ago. You see, the workers walked off the job claiming that there are unsolved grievances with management, as well as their industrial agreement has expired in January of this year. They also have some discrepancies about their wellness bonus. Thursday, flanked by other union leaders, Mrs. Thompson says the bank governor is suing her for defamation of character.
The suit was filed, we went out on Tuesday, and just before we were to go into negotiations on Thursday of last week, the suit was filed. It was sent to the letter of defamation. That's what you're talking about, right? The same thing. Yeah, letter of defamation. It was sent to my email box. But it has my personal, it is addressed to Teresa Thompson, my street address. And so I went back and I asked, I queried as to why it was sent to my street address. If I went out into the parking lot and I introduced myself as Teresa Thompson, Union of Central Bank's president, had on the shirt, had it on today, proud to be that and represent my people every day. And so I don't know why, I don't know, and so what I have done to show good faith.
National Congress of Trade Unions stood in solidarity with Mrs. Thompson. The NCTU President Bernard Evans says the body is expressing its deep disappointment in the breakdown of dialogue in the country. He shares these thoughts at the special press conference held on Thursday.
When union leaders and union members receive threats, bullying tactics are engaged from senior executives in the government enterprises, places where we pay their salaries. It becomes a matter of public interest. Such a time, if we allow the governor of the central bank to attack our dear sister and say she cannot speak, or she will face the consequences.
The NCTU president adds that this is a gentle reminder that the labor movement in the Bahamas will not be silent.
To believe that they could quiet any representative from any union who stand up in the cause of trying to get resolution for their members by way of threatening them personally and talking about she can face the consequences. That is as much as we know right now. That's as much as we're going to comment on that, but we're not going to allow that kind of behavior to happen in this country. We can nip this one in the bud quick.
Evans says that the NCTU is in total disbelief, as it seems as if the country's labor climate has regressed. I'm Laurencia Smith for JCN News.
A daily 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew will take effect on North and South Bimini beginning tonight, July 1st, 2021, in accordance with the Emergency Powers Order. These newly amended orders will also prohibit social gatherings. Funeral services are to be held at the graveside with a limit of 10 people. Weddings are permitted in a church, a facility, or outdoors, provided that the number of attendees is limited to 10. Wedding receptions are also prohibited, and all bars are prohibited from operating. Church services may be held daily between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. in accordance with physical distancing and other health protocols provided by the Bahamas Christian Council and approved by the Ministry of Health. Additionally, hotel and cruise ship guests will be required to remain on the premises of the hotel or cruise ship during the curfew period. They may also move between the hotel and marina to the extent the marina is part of the premises of the hotel during the curfew period. Teams from the Ministry of Health were deployed to Bimini today to carry out vaccinations on the island and provide assistance to the local health team. This much after June 27th, the Ministry of Health reported that the 11 cases recorded on Bimini that day indicate evidence of clustering that is linked to a local resort. The government of the Bahamas has expressed its support for the proposals of the G20 OECD inclusive framework on base erosion and profit shifting to reform the global taxation system. Finance officials say this is all geared at addressing the tax challenges arising from the digitization of the global economy. The support of the Bahamas for the inclusive framework's two-tier reform proposal, referred to as Pillar 1 and Pillar 2, is consistent with and informed by the stated policy principles of the government with respect to the pursuit of tax fairness and equity, as recently outlined by the Prime Minister during the budget exercise. The G20 OECD's inclusive framework on base erosion and profit shifting seek to establish inter alia minimum tax measures for companies with gross annual earnings of 750 million euros, that's 889 million US dollars or greater. The rules would not apply to companies under this threshold. The statement from the finance officials add that as a member of the inclusive framework, the Bahamas has actively participated in the development of these measures and has ardently articulated the legitimacy of jurisdictions such as the Bahamas. It views these measures as a viable option for ensuring that small jurisdictions benefit from any measure to tax entities operating within its jurisdiction. Conversations between the People's Republic of China and the Bahamas has begun about our country receiving vaccines from China. This much coming from the Chinese ambassador Dai Qingli. However, she says nothing has been finalized yet.
That we have ongoing dialogue with the Bahamas government regarding cooperation in fighting the pandemic, including the vaccines. So what normally works is China is open to different needs of different countries for the vaccines. So far, we have helped about more than 100 countries in terms of providing free vaccines and exporting vaccines to these countries. So we are continuing to have this communication with the Bahamas government.
Ambassador Dai was responding to questions from reporters as the Chinese embassy made donations of food items to the Bahamas Feeding Network this morning at Zonta Club of Nassau.
At the Chinese embassy, we are very happy to offer some support to the Bahamas Feeding Network. Following Hurricane Dorian, we donated $20,000 US to the Feeding Network. So now, after in the process of the pandemic, we are coming back to help the Bahamas Feeding Network with these some humble donations. And also we are in the process of purchasing and shipping over to the Bahamas a number of greenhouses to help with the farmers directly, to help them to raise their own vegetables and fruits and things like that. Hopefully, these kind of small donations can play a certain role in helping those people who are really in need. And we are glad to forge this growing partnership with the Bahamas Feeding Network.
The food items were valued at $10,000 and will go towards helping those in need. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.